about that.
Well, it's interesting. When I became second lady, I always like to joke that all of a sudden people would take my phone call. And I knew that I could have one or two issues that I could really make a difference with. And a lot of groups were coming to me wanting me to do things for veterans. And I love our veterans, obviously, but I felt like nobody was really standing for the military spouse or people who hadn't been able to make much difference. So I just really felt like there's an opportunity here to really make a difference for these spouses.
And so you did talk about some of the initiatives, the new initiatives. Do you want to speak more about that, or are there any other new programs or initiatives that military spouses can take advantage of in the coming year?
Well, one of my other major initiative is art therapy. And we're finding it's very effective in treating PTSD and traumatic brain injury. And so it's important for spouses to know that this is something they can look for. We've just had so many experiences with some of our vets who have said, sorry, I've got a cold right now. Some water. So many of our vets who maybe have tried other therapies and aren't having any relief, and art therapy is really showing a lot of progress. We're doing a lot of research at Walter Reed. So I love for spouses to know that this is an option for their military member as well.
Okay. And you did talk about your son. He is a pilot and he's married to a spouse. With that new or changing perspective, did that kind of shape how you view military spouses and how you can assist them as well?
Well, it's interesting. I didn't really choose this initiative with that in mind. I know the Obama administration had worked on licensure for military spouses. When I was First Lady of Indiana, we kind of partnered with Michelle Obama and Jill Biden to try and help get licensing issues solved in Indiana. So I was aware of it. But I think that's more what kind of made me think, this really isn't solved yet. So is there something else that I can do? But it does give me a new perspective, and our daughter is married to a Navy pilot. So just hearing little things like, oh, we don't know when we're going to get our orders, and we don't know when we can get married, and we don't know where we can live on base, and we, just some of the struggles that people don't realize that our military families really have a lot of struggles that are unique to being in the military.
And so in addition to the moving and the other like employment issues, are there any other specific issues that those spouses have brought up to your attention, and any future progress for?
Well, that's a good question. So one thing that we did when we went around and had listening sessions, I would ask, like we'd have a round table, and I would ask 20 spouses, give me one thing. Don't give me 25 things. Give me one thing that if we could fix this, this would really change your quality of life. And it was the employment issue that came up more than anything else. But there were other issues as well, and it was interesting to kind of look at the National Defense Authorization Act that now they're working on. Department of Defense is actually working on some of the certification for child care workers so that they don't have to keep getting approved to work in a child care facility. So that's one thing we hear a lot. And so I'm mostly focusing on the licensure right now, but I just feel like some of the other issues we can make people aware, and I do think we definitely have a partner in Secretary Esper and his wife Leah. They are 100% around trying to improve the lives of our military families.
And I want to shift a little bit. You did speak about your daughter, Charlotte. I have a daughter named Charlotte as well.
Yay!
So, and I know that you both collaborated on a series of books.
We did.
And I know that you enjoy art and watercolor. Is there any thoughts about the future, about maybe doing another book or another series that specifies like maybe deployed military members? I don't know if that's something that you've thought about or
No,
any
we
other.
actually absolutely have. We agreed to do 3 books with this particular publisher, and so we're thinking about doing something else in the future. But that was one of the things Charlotte thought it would be interesting for kids to kind of know, what's it going to be like when we move, and what's it going to be like. What's something I can know is always at a certain post or base or deployment or station. What's something I can count on? And so she started getting kind of excited about that. So that's definitely one that she's thinking about doing. And I'd love to see her do it.
And is there anything interesting or most gratifying that you've experienced since becoming second lady?
Well, I will say, on the same topic, that military spouses are very inspiring to me. I mean, it's just stunning to me, some of the things they cope with and deal with, and they're smiling and they're encouraging each other and they're standing together. It really is inspiring. I would say, though, when people ask me, if you had to pick one thing since you've been second lady that really was just an amazing experience, I've led 2 delegations to Special Olympics. And I've got to tell you, those are amazing experiences to see these kids who are fighting against all kinds of difficulties themselves, and they're just enjoying the moment, trying their best. That was something that I think was very inspiring for my whole staff to get to be at a couple different Special Olympics.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Kara, anything else I'd like to add?
Just great to be here.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's so much fun because we did have listening sessions with Marines before we decided how we were going to elevate and encourage military spouses, but we haven't actually visited a base that's mostly Marines until this
Okay.
one. So we're so excited to be here today at Camp Lejeune. This is a place we definitely was on our list of places we wanted to visit, so it's pretty exciting.
Are there any other future stops along your visits that include Marines? Any other?
Definitely. We're actually, so we've decided about once a month we're going to be doing something with Mrs. Esper. So we want to include all 5 branches of the military, and then we'll come back around. So, and a lot of the bases are joint, but we're looking forward to that. She said, I really want to get out and I want to meet spouses and I want to do what I can, so let's partner together. And we said, absolutely.
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Any guest who is interested in taking a photo with the second lady will be instructed beforehand to form into the click line.
Moves, a mother with 3 children, a volunteer in numerous capacities, a professional with a career, and then most recently her work.
My great pleasure to introduce Mrs. Karen Pence, the Second Lady of the United States. Mrs. Pence has an impressive list of accomplishments. She is an art teacher. Families thrive. It is an honor to have Mrs. Pence here today, and we all appreciate her commitment to our armed forces and their families.
Defense. She reached out to my office right away, and she said, I want to do things with you. I want to go see military spouses. Let's do a bunch of people. He wouldn't call us if he gets kicked out. He just would show up. And every week we were like, because some of you may relate to this, they're between houses right now. So their house in Arizona they can't close on for another week, or selfless support and your volunteer spirit. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because I know some of you don't really want to just be volunteers. You want jobs. I don't mean just volunteers. Volunteering is wonderful. But I know some of you want to point, don't want Karen Pence coming in and saying, oh, here's what we need to do to help our military spouses. So we went around and had listening sessions, and we asked the spouses, what do you want us to focus on? They truly, truly are. So God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the United States.